Are we doing the theme now? Should I shut up?
No, we're just starting now. You actually should keep talking.
Oh, we've just started. Okay, this is the cold open. So yeah, Reese just got back from a 6-hour drive back from the beach, that I did not get to go to.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions about that. And you know what, Chandler? We'll get to those after the theme. This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Hello, it's me. I'm the someone else. There's
This
no
week it's
someone
Chandler.
else today.
Yeah, it's it. We had it a last second. They said it's a family emergency, so we'll let them deal with that.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, so we got Chandler. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going quite well. As I was saying beforehand, Reese literally like 10 minutes before we started recording, got back from the beach. So here's the deal with that. So, a friend of both of ours, their name is Jay. Jay's dad owns a bar in Birmingham. And Jay's dad is quite nice, so every year he takes all the servers and, basically like all the staff of the bar to a beach trip. And because Jay is his child, they also get to go, along with some friends, but I was like the one after on the list. I was like right at the cutoff point. Like if one person had canceled, I would have gotten to go.
You were on the wait list.
Yeah. Exactly. I was on the wait list. Of course, I come to find out, the day of that one, person that was going to go did not go. So I could have gone. But by the time I learned that, it was like way too late and I like have work and I can't just like drop everything. I wish I could.
You can't drop everything.
No. As much as I would like to go to the beach, I mean, this was a pretty sick beach trip according to Reese's account. However, I at least get some consolation because my family is going to the beach next week. So I think that would have been too much beach anyway.
Can you get too much beach? What's the maximum beach?
I maybe some people can't, but I absolutely can get too much beach. I like the beach for about 3 to 4 days, and then I'm like, it's hot, it's sandy, and I don't want to be here anymore. I don't hate the beach. I just have like a time limit on like how long it's like good for me. Cause like I only ever want to do 2 things at the beach, and that is like sit in the shade and read a book and dig a big hole. And once those 2 things are accomplished, it's like, why am I here?
Okay, yeah, I get that. Okay, so that's the beach trip that you didn't go on. So you're going next week? Is that what you said?
Yes, I'm going next weekend to almost the same place. It's like Reese and them were like right on the the little part of beach that Alabama has. They were on like the just barely like the Florida side of that like line, and then I'm going to be on the Alabama side, more near what's the name of that? It's like the point. It's like Fort Morgan.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you know the specifics of beach geography in Alabama, but
I'm not too familiar with the Alabama beach geography, but I will say I've been to Pensacola Beach. So
Pensacola's pretty good.
Well, it's right there is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's like, it's all kind of like, there's like one road that extends for like miles and it has like all the beaches on.
Yeah.
So that's I'm excited because that trip is going to be precisely 4 days long, which is right as long as I want it to be.
That's your maximum. Yeah.
It's not the maximum. It's like the ideal. Like I could go for longer, but I'm probably just gonna like sit on the balcony of the condo and like just like not engage with the beach any more than I have to. It's like
it's just you.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it's just you and your parents. Reese isn't going, obviously.
No, Reese is not going. Me and my parents and my 4 siblings, as well as my older sister's new husband, which is just wild to like say those words out loud.
Yeah, I think you talked about that on the podcast. You must have.
Yeah, he's fine. I don't have a problem with him. It's just wild that he's like.
You just don't like him. Yeah.
No, I don't not like him. He's fine. He's
that what you said to him?
Huh?
I don't not like you.
No, he just has. He's not a bad guy in the slightest. His personality is just like kind of polar opposite of mine, and so like we try to have a conversation, and it just like everything I say whooshes past him, and everything he says whooshes past me. So it's like we're just gonna be like content with each other, and it's fine. If that makes any sense.
I think I get it.
Okay.
Because
he's like literally like the most extroverted person I know. He's like super like he earns a lot of money. He likes to spend a lot of money. He's not like irresponsible, but he likes he likes spending money on things and talking about it, and he likes golfing. Very frat boy. That whole thing. I am very much. Absolutely none of those things, and so just conversing with him is kind of weird.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
But I mean, the beach is still going to be fun with my family, regardless of anything else.
Regardless of the people there that you don't like, yeah.
Yes. Correct. I mean, it'll be nice to see all of my siblings, if nothing else. Like, my younger sister's about to leave for college in Chicago, so she's going to be see her before that happens.
Chicago. Is that what you said?
Chicago.
My brother's there.
Yeah. She's trying to do musical theater things, so that's like the second best place to do it.
Yeah, I guess it is. I've been there maybe twice to Chicago, maybe just once actually.
I have never been to Chicago. I guess I have a reason to go now, other than just to see the big. Chicago's the one with the beat, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. just making sure I got that one right, if nothing else.
It's got it right now. I got to double check. Yeah.
It's amazing how little I know about big cities in the U.S. other than like the one thing that everyone knows about them. You know what I mean? It's like Chicago's got the bean. New Orleans has a lot of parties and has Mardi Gras. St. Louis has the big arch. That's about all I got.
That's all you got?
What other big cities are there that I know like one thing about? It rains a lot in Seattle.
Okay.
LA is full of is this alright, I wanna know, is this like a like super like insulting word? Is the word yuppie like can I say that?
Are you asking if it's a slur?
It's obviously not a slur, but I'm like, how mean is it? I don't know how mean it is.
Let me see. Yuppie.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how mean is it?
Google is telling me it's derogatory.
Okay, but it feels like it's only like a 3 on like the meanness scale. Why
don't you give examples of meaner words? If I put this in context.
Okay, we know what the 10s are. We don't have to talk about that. 1 would be like, I don't know, stupid. Like that's like a 1. It's just like that's such like I feel like that's a non-insult. Up at like the 7s and 8s, you have like motherfucker and like the stuff that you would call someone like if they like really insulted you. You know what I mean? I feel like yuppie. If that's like an 8 or a 9, if motherfucker is like an 8 or a 9 in terms of like calling someone that. In earnest, anyway. Like, obviously, you call your friends whatever, but
I don't
earnestly calling.
I don't know what you're calling your friends.
Huh?
But, I don't know what you're calling your friends, but I don't call them.
Anyway, but I feel like yuppie is like a 4. It's like very like not really that big of a deal of a word, but also like. I don't know. I get very scared around words I don't know that well because I feel like I'm going to say something and I'm going to get like murdered for saying something and I just don't know. Because like when I was a kid, I would do that literally all the time. I would say a word and I wouldn't know what it means and people would be like, dude. I'd be like, I don't know. I just say things sometimes.
Oh boy. What are you saying to people?
I mean, now I try to only. This is the whole reason I was so cautious about it because I don't know. Maybe someone out there, maybe a young urban professional is going to be very insulted that I've said the word yuppie at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's not used as often anymore anyway.
Definitely not. It feels like not like an old, obviously like it's a, like within the past maybe 50 years term, but it's like, I don't know, maybe like a 90s thing.
Yeah, maybe. Do you not consider yourself a yuppie?
Oh, I'm definitely a yuppie. I just don't want yuppie on yuppie violence.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway, let's move past this conversation. I'm uncomfortable.
You just keep talking about it.
What else?
Looks like it started in the 80s. Anyway,
I've managed to derail myself even faster than usual this time.
Yeah, and I forgot my next topic. I had something, but we got so deep in the yuppie hole.
You don't want to get yourself caught. I mean, the yuppie hole is probably just L.A.
Speaking of yuppies, have you seen Barbie? The phenomenon that is.
I still have not. Well, part of the reason I haven't seen Barbie is because Reese hasn't been here, and I'm legally required to see it with him. I can't just go see it by myself. I feel like
this is a legal requirement.
If it's like, you got to go with people.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna go tomorrow by myself. So.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm sorry. I did not mean to. For me,
and well, it does. It does feel weird. I got to go up to the ticket counter as a yuppie and ask for a single ticket to Barbie.
Are you dressing up? Are you engaging with the culture of it all?
Let me tell you, I live in a small town in upstate New York. They do not dress up for Barbie. Okay,
that's.
they go to.
I mean, I guess you shouldn't feel weird about going alone because regardless of anything, you still are participating in the cultural event that is Barbie.
Yeah, and you could go. There's a rabbit hole here because going to the movies with other people. What is that? The whole point of a movie theater is you go to a dark room where you can't see the other person and don't talk to them for a couple hours.
That's a good point. I mean, I've kind of thought about this before that like, alright, for like a date where like you're trying to be like, see, I think it works both, I think a movie date, it works really well both ways because if you're super shy and you like don't really want to engage, it's good because you can just kind of like sit back in your seat and just watch it. Or if you want to be kind of flirty, it's like, it's a dark room, you can like be
Careful, Chandler.
I mean, okay, I'm sorry. Don't fuck in the movie theater. Don't do that.
What are you doing?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You've never kissed anyone in a movie theater, Daniel?
Yeah, well, it's been a long time if I've done it.
Yeah, but it's happened before.
I don't think so. I don't think I've done a prolonged engagement session.
You said it had to be prolonged. I just said it. I feel like, I don't think you should be doing PDA anywhere, but it's more acceptable to be a little bit more physical when you are in a movie theater, especially if you're like not in like the middle of the and keep it contained. I'm not advocating for anything insane here, but like I don't know. You can do a peck on the lips a little bit more than usual if it's a dark room and you're watching a movie that you're both enjoying.
I don't think I've ever done it. I guess Chandler, you're a fiend in the movie theater.
I'm really not. Like maybe it feels like a lot. It feels like a high school thing, really, right? To me, it feels like something that like a lot of I feel like that's a bunch of teenagers that's kind of a thing that they do maybe. And certainly I was, when I was a teenager, certainly that happened, although again, never to any insane extent, but certainly happened more than it does now. I never go to the movies for like just a date. Like, okay, the Barbie movie can kind of be a date with me and Reese, and that'll be cute. But it's like, we're not going to the Barbie movie to go on a date. We're going to see the Barbie movie because it's like iconic. You know what I mean? Anyway, but that's the reason I have not seen it. Is because I've not had a chance to see it with Reese. Now, here's another question: are you going to see Oppenheimer? And if so, are you going to see it the same day?
Chandler, I'm glad you asked. I saw Oppenheimer today.
Okay.
And I'm seeing Barbie tomorrow. I do not understand people that are going to both back to back. That's an insane. I can't sit still that long. Oppenheimer is a 3-hour movie. I didn't
know it was a 3-hour movie.
It's a real 3-hour movie. That includes credits, but you're sitting there for at minimum, 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Barbie, I think, is about 2 hours. So that's a long time. If you add in the trailers and stuff, depending on, when you're seeing, how you're lining it up. I mean, you're getting to what? 7, 8 hours?
That's a full day right there. Yeah.
In the theater? Yeah. So, I don't understand. Owen actually just did the double feature yesterday. Yeah. And it's a lot. Yeah. It is a lot.
I think I could do it, but I think I definitely would need to watch Oppenheimer first because, I don't know, although I've seen, I'm going into the Barbie movie with, minimal spoilers. I don't know anything about what happens. Apparently it's way deeper than, I don't know, I guess I expected. I thought it was just going to be a fun, silly movie, but apparently people are posting TikToks with them crying after the movie, and I'm like, does this get super intense? What happens in the Barbie movie?
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen it yet either, but from what I understand, yeah, it's got some messaging in it, and it's a little more, it's not just an animated kids movie like what you would probably expect, right?
I mean, it's PG-13, right? I don't think anyone expects it to be a kids movie necessarily.
But when you think and you hear the name Barbie and they're making a movie about it,
Yeah.
This is the first live action Barbie movie. It's been around since the mid 20th century. Like,
Now,
it took a long time.
Have you ever seen? I'm sure I don't. You know, I'm gonna look it up right now. Those animated Barbie movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm sure I've been in a room when my sister was watching them.
Yeah. All right.
But
No, go ahead.
you know what? No, hold on. Well, because you know what? You get those confused with any generic princess movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me see if I can recognize
There are
any of these.
42 animated Barbie movies.
Oh my god.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but again, never a live action movie. So.
Okay, so the very first. All right, if you want to get caught up on Barbie lore,
yeah,
you got to start from the 2001 computer animated fantasy film co-produced by Mainframe Entertainment, Barbie in the Nutcracker.
From 2001. I'm going to skip ahead here. Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper. I swear my sister had that DVD. I think I gotta look at some stills.
All right, I'll try.
That sounds familiar.
So go ahead.
That sounds familiar. Is all I saw some Princess and the Pauper movie because she had it on DVD. You know, it might have been this one. It might have been. Another?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure Reese has talked about watching one of these a lot. I'm gonna be right back and ask him.
All right, I'm gonna go down the list then while you're going out to solve. There's a bunch of these. Barbie in the 12 Dancing Princesses. I don't even know, but the list here, and our listeners can look it up on their own. But it's a lot of Barbie in blank. Barbie in A Christmas Carol. But 42, that's a lot. And I didn't realize they didn't start until 2001. I figured they would have started.
All right. He has in fact seen apparently a number of them, but the one he said first was the Pegasus. Hold on, is there a Pegasus?
Pegasus.
It's like unicorn. Yes, Barbie and the Magic of the Pegasus. It came out in 2005.
Yeah.
Let me get a synopsis on this one.
Okay, let's get a synopsis. It did first appear on Nickelodeon, so
that I
for those keeping track at home.
Hold on, wait. The protagonist isn't even named Barbie. They're named Anika. It's just vaguely
Barbie. No, Barbie is starring as Princess Anika.
Oh, okay. Barbie is the actress. I understand now. I understand.
I know it's a little confusing to someone on the outside like you, Chandler.
No, I listen. I'm glad to be getting caught up on the lore. I need to really get into this stuff before I see the culmination. Unless they make another one. The culmination of all of this, it's like the Avengers Endgame of Barbie.
Oh, I'm sure they'll keep making animated movies. They just had one. The last one was released in March, and
oh, really?
Yeah, this past March.
Dang,
and
as far as a year.
Yeah, as far as live action, I don't know. I'm sure if Greta Gerwig wants to come back and make another one, they'll do it. Because it's made a ton of money.
I'm sure there's going to be a sequel given how big it's gotten. I don't think it's going to be this. It's not going to be the same the second time around though. This is very much okay. So apparently the movie is good in its own right. The Barbie movie is just a good movie from what I can tell. People seem to more than just it's fun. Because okay, the Super Mario movie, A, catered to a little bit more of a niche audience, and B, it wasn't really that good of a movie by itself. From what I can tell, it was just fun. It seems like Barbie is both fun and just a good movie.
Sure, but I get what you're saying, kind of the phenomenon of it is going to wear off with the next one.
Yes.
especially because it probably won't be coming out on the same weekend as Oppenheimer 2.
I don't think they're gonna make Oppenheimer 2.
Oppenheimer
Maybe
2.
like another. I'll tell you, if Christopher Nolan just makes another really intense, serious movie, then they line it up again. We're golden. Barbenheimer 2, baby.
Yeah, they could.
So okay, now here's a question I haven't asked somehow throughout this whole discussion: is Oppenheimer good?
Yeah, it's definitely good. It's obviously a very different movie than Barbie.
Yeah.
It's like your standard kind of biopic kind of thing. I guess it is.
I think the closest thing I've seen, from what I can tell, is like, because I don't watch a lot of those kinds of movies. The closest thing I can think of in my mind is like The Imitation Game. If you ever saw that?
Yeah. I can see some parallels. It's mostly people in a room talking.
I'm fine with that. It's just
if you're okay with that. Yeah, if you're okay with that, I don't think it's, but like not in a boring way, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is 12 Angry Men, and that's just a bunch of people in a room talking. They don't even go to a different room.
Yeah.
Well, they go to the bathroom. That's the only different room.
No, this movie has multiple rooms. It's got plenty of locations. It's pretty straightforward as far as Christopher Nolan movies. There's no, well, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but it's, there's no like craziness, I guess.
I mean, I was a little bit hesitant because, the last so I really liked Inception. I watched that forever ago. And then the last one I saw was Tenet. Tenet was like fine, but my issue with it is you couldn't hear a damn thing anyone was saying. Can you actually hear the dialogue in Oppenheimer?
Yeah. I heard pretty much everything. Maybe there were spots, but it was very rare.
Okay. That's good to hear.
You're not going to have a problem with that. They didn't overdo the music or mix the sound in a weird way. I think it's all lined up pretty well. It's a very technically sound movie, the way they do it.
Very good. All right. I think I'm gonna go your method. I don't know if I'm gonna do the old double feature. I think I would, again, unless I watched Oppenheimer first and there was like a break in the middle, like go get dinner or something.
Yeah. I mean, Oppenheimer's a lot too. Like, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Like, you might need a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Now.
Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but, huh?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think you know what happened as far as, how the bombs.
I do happen to know what happened in real life with the bombs. Yeah. So I can't.
They don't stray from that.
Particularly bright and cheery movie.
Yeah, they don't stray from that. I mean, it's not super dark, but I mean, it's just it's more just like a heavy thing,
Yeah.
More heavy than dark.
I just want you to know, I am holding back a very long-winded rant about the necessity of the nuclear bomb as it was used by the U.S. But we're not going to go into that. This is supposed to be a comedy podcast.
That's another episode.
That's a different episode. We'll get it. You'll start a new podcast called... Anyway, we won't get into that. Barbie movie. But I've heard that, so the only like semi-spoilery thing that I've gotten about the Barbie movie is like it gets very like existential, which I guess it kind of has to if it's. Have you seen the Lego Movie?
I've seen the Lego Movie. Yes.
I feel like it might be something like that where it's like, I don't know if there's like a real reality where Barbie's like can turn into a real person, or like if the Barbie world is the only world that they're in. I don't know how that works. But like I feel like if you're dealing with like a what are essentially toys coming to consciousness, you're gonna have to face like some existential questions there.
Yeah. No, you had to do something different. You couldn't just make it like a generic, like there's a path, and I was talking to someone else about this, where like if this movie were made in the 90s, it would basically be like Legally Blonde, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And maybe that would be a good movie, but I don't think it's like what the people involved in this movie wanted to do.
No, they definitely wanted to. It's just everything lines up really well. Like the whole Barbenheimer thing, like just kind of happened. Like it's funny. It is very funny that they came out on the same weekends. But like it would not have worked nearly as well past just being something funny that happened if they weren't apparently both like good movies.
Yeah. It worked out. All the stars
It all worked out really well. And I guess good for fucking movie theaters because Lord knows they've been struggling.
Let me tell you, I've been going to the movies.
You've been going to the movies?
Not that right. I've been going to the movies. And it's not been that crowded this summer. But when I went today, at noon on a Thursday, it was packed.
Full house?
Well, yeah, pretty full. for this theater. I had to wait in line.
Wow.
For a ticket. That's usually not a thing. There were people going to several movies because people, in this town, they like the Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
Barbie was kind of already playing. There's only like 7 screens in this theater too, so keep that in mind. Barbie was already playing, so I didn't really see anyone go in there. Like it had already been playing for like half an hour, so I don't know how packed that was. But by Oppenheimer screening, I mean there was only 50 seats. It's a very small theater. Yeah. But it was pretty much full, I want to say. On Thursday at noon, which you wouldn't think.
That is impressive. That is absolutely impressive.
Yeah, I did forget that this town has a ton of old people. So that was probably, and this is kind of an old person, right? These people knew Oppenheimer. They were friends with him. So I forgot that this would appeal to them because the average age in that theater was probably like
also 65. Old people are probably much more likely to be free at noon on a Thursday. Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at as well. So it made sense. So, but we'll see what happens with Barbie tomorrow because I think the one I'm going to is like 11:30 in the morning.
I will ask this, like, you say it's a small town. Is it like a pretty, I don't know, conservative small town or like not really?
I would.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say yes, without getting too deep into that.
I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it either, but I just know that, I don't know, I've certainly seen people talking about the woke mind virus with Barbie, and I might hurt sales in that particular theater, so maybe it won't be as full.
That's what I was kind of getting at without saying that.
Let me just say the thing that you didn't want to say, but I said it anyway. Just blame it on me. Yeah. Anything bad that happens in any podcast, just put it squarely on my shoulders.
It was probably Chandler's fault.
Yeah. One thing I was gonna say, I mentioned this last time. I went to go see the new Spider-Man movie with Josh and Reese, and that was a really good movie, especially if you liked the first one, and a lot of people did like the first one. That was a really good movie. But, I mean, we were in a pretty big theater, and, there were maybe 12 people out of, 100 seats, it just really surprises me when, like, it surprises me the pull that Barbenheimer has, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, I guess it just takes more than a good movie to get people to the theater these days.
Yeah, I mean, this could also be a whole other podcast, but I guess people just want something different. You know?
Yeah.
A little different. Like, I mean, animated Spider-Man.
I will grant you that. I will grant you that it's certainly been done before. It's wasn't.
I mean, it's literally the sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like I'm not gonna sit here and be like it's the fucking movie of the year or anything, but it was pretty good. It was worth the price of admission to go see it on a big screen. And it's just surprising to see that not as many people were going to that. And I'll say also, like, I think it's people are just burned out on superhero movies. I know I am. I'm surprised I was invested in it as I was, given how many fucking superhero movies and TV shows there are nowadays.
You know what? Spider-Man did do okay. Just because it kind of stayed in theaters for so long, and people just kept, I guess, going back to it or going later.
Yeah.
It ended up making a decent amount of money. So people did watch it. Just sort of, it was a slower trickle, like you said. It was 12 people every time.
They just keep watching it every time. I mean, how much money did it make?
It made $676 million worldwide.
And a budget of $100 million? That's a hell of a profit. Maybe not as much as they were hoping for, but it is a sequel.
Well, the first one only made $384. So,
really?
Yeah, these are smaller movies, you know, like an animated Spider-Man. I think doesn't appeal to. I guess
if you are. If you are an old person who has met Oppenheimer, you're probably not as interested in the animated Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Is your grandmother going to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
I think with how, like, bright and colorful and occasionally flashy it is, I think most old people would simply, like.
Yeah. But you could trick them into the live action Spider-Man movie, I guess.
Exactly.
Kind of getting that.
Exactly.
You know. They could say, "Oh, I know Jon Favreau." He's not even that old.
I don't. I watched whatever the most recent live action Spider-Man movie was. I watched it and I enjoyed it. I could not tell you a damn thing that happens in that movie other than the Green Goblin.
Well, you know, he shoots webs and he swings around.
What's that guy's name?
Who are you talking about?
The Green Goblin from the old live action.
I'm gonna let you figure it out.
Oh, all right.
I gotta let.
William something.
Kind of. You're close. Get rid of a syllable.
Willem Dafoe. We got there.
Yeah. William.
His name is William. It's just Willem is just the nickname. Apparently, he goes by.
He goes by Will.
Okay. Wild. I watch those old live action because there's 3 fucking series now. There's the new live action Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. There's the weird 2 in the middle with Andrew Garfield, which I saw them both, and they both were not great. And then there's the old ones, of which I've seen the 3rd, and it was just too weird for me to even give a judgment on it.
Yeah.
So you can see why people are fucking burned out on Spider-Man, I guess.
And then you have Venom.
I never saw Venom.
And then you have something else. Sure.
I think the only reason I'm as invested in Spider-Man I guess, lore is because when I was, like, quite a young child, I don't know where my parents got these. They've got DVDs of, like the 60s Spider-Man. I'm talking, like the old shit.
Yep.
The super old Spider-Man cartoons, and they would play them in the car, and I would, like, lose my mind over them. And I, like, go back, I went back recently and watched, like, some of them, and it's like, this is very dumb. I mean, it's for kids, like, it's for kids, like, it's not supposed to be anything. But it's like, I guess it's interesting to see what passed for, like, really, like, cool entertainment in the fucking 60s.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the old Batman, the original Batman series.
Oh, when did that come out?
I don't want to say the wrong time, so I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
But I'll say the wrong time. I thought it was the 50s, but let me... The 60s.
60s. Okay, also 60s. That tracks.
With Adam West.
Yeah, they all just kind of look like that. All the cartoons kind of look the same. They have the same general vibe from that era. Kind of like I don't know, like old Scooby-Doo. I feel like it's similar aura. This has been Chandler and Daniel Look Up Old Pieces of Media, the podcast. I hope you enjoyed.
We sound like old people. Like, when did that Batman show come out? Who was that William guy in Spider-Man?
I don't know. I really just don't watch very many movies anymore. So I guess it's cool to talk about the ones I have seen. Oh no, this is fun. This is fun. This is like, is it 3 years too late? I am finally watching, and I'm almost done watching Squid Game.
Oh, you're only a year and a half, I think, right?
Year and a half? Okay. Let me look that up.
I want to say it's a year and a half.
Squid Game come out.
2021.
So that's
September 2021.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, yeah.
But I think it took people a little bit longer than, like, people didn't immediately, like, latch on to Squid Game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for obvious reasons, but
yeah, I really have enjoyed Squid Game so far. Don't give me spoilers, I'm on the last episode. So if you, like me, are completely out of touch and don't watch popular media when it comes out, go watch Squid Game now.
Leave a comment and spoil it for Chandler.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me. I have to watch.
Feel free, because he won't read the comments.
It'll be like 9:30 by the time we're done with this. Maybe Reese and I will watch the last episode.
Well, this doesn't come out till Tuesday, so you got plenty of time.
Oh yeah, we're good.
All right, well, Chandler,
the schedule pretty consistent.
We haven't missed a week, but sometimes it's just me talking. So,
Sorry to cut you off right as you start your outro.
We're trying to wrap this up because we've been going on a while, and I don't want to keep Chandler from whatever he's got going on. He's probably going to the movies tonight to do who knows what. So
I can neither confirm or deny.
Thanks for coming on. Was there anything else you wanted to hit, though, before we head out? I want to give you one last chance. The second nuclear bomb was absolutely unjustifiable. Have a good night, folks.